guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to give you guys my honest opinions about everything related to GSU. I'm going to be telling you guys everything you need to know before attending GSU. So let's get into this video. So a little disclaimer before I begin. I'm an international student from Lagos, Nigeria, so these are my opinions and my perspective on things that I've experienced at Georgia State University as an international student. So the first thing I'm going to discuss is academics. I am studying journalism with a minor in marketing, and I am currently a freshman because I'm taking summer classes. But when I get back in fall, I'm going to be a sophomore. So basically, in the fall semester, I took 12 credits, and the spring semester, I took 15 credits, meaning that I still have 3 credits left to complete the 30 credit requirements required by GSU. So basically, every year in GSU, you're supposed to complete 30 credits, and I didn't know that when I was registering for classes in the fall semester. So I'm making up for those classes now during the summer semester, so that in the future, I don't have to take 18 credits in one semester, because that's the only way I'll be able to make up. The thing about 18 credits is, it's hard. Everybody advised me against doing 18 credits in the semester. That's why I decided to just take these 3 credits remaining this summer semester, get it over with, so I know when I go back and in the future I'm going to be taking 15. That is 15 in the fall and 15 in the spring. So don't take 18 credits at all. Like, it's not fun, and it's not fun. Like, it's hard work. Unless you have nothing going on in your life, which I don't believe you do, don't take 18 credits in one semester. That's just... Now, the way classes work at GSU, the way you can select classes at GSU, I think is a very simple process. The class selection portal opens up months before the new semester even starts. Like, now the fall semester is the next semester, right? I picked my classes since January at the beginning of this year for fall. So that's how early that classes open to select. Another thing you need to know about classes, everybody gets a specific time slot. Every grade or every category gets a specific time. So I know that seniors get priority for picking classes because they're seniors and they need to graduate, and some other people they get priority for picking classes first. But the classes that seniors will be taking, most likely freshmen and sophomores will probably not be taking those classes as well. So one thing to know when you pick your classes is pick your classes as soon as you can. Don't wait until the last minute because they fill up fast. And when a class gets full, it's going to make it so much harder for you to get into a class, especially if you wanted to do that class with a friend or you just wanted to get the class over with. Pick your classes as soon as you get dates for when your classes are supposed to be picked, which you can find on your portal, on your course portal. That information is always there for one time slot you get to be able to pick your classes. For fall semester, I had options to pick my classes, but it was already pre-selected for me. For fall semester, we had classes in blocks, different categories. I can't remember the names, but each category had 3 classes or 4 classes or 5 classes. I don't remember, but you pick 1 or 2 in each category. That's how I was able to build my schedule for fall semester. But for spring semester, I could pick any class I want from any category. I could pick multiple from one category. It didn't matter, as long as the credits added up the way I wanted it to add up and the time matches and all of that. The portal to pick your classes, it's very simple to understand in my opinion. All the information you need is there. The course name, course number, dates, the class will hold, times the class will hold, where the class will hold, and who the professor is. Even though there are some classes in particular where the professor's name doesn't show up, I don't know why. But for the classes where the professor's name does show up, I recommend that you go to ratemyprofessor.com, type in the professor's name, and you can see ratings. This is before you pick a class. You can see ratings of people who have taken this teacher's class, see how good they are in their teaching. Basically, that is another way to know what you're getting into beforehand, because there's some professors that are just not it, but then there are some that yeah, I definitely want to take their class because why not. So far I haven't had any bad experience with any of my teachers. I've never had any issues. All the professors that I've had, they always respond to my email. I can always ask them questions and they'll always respond, and the classes have been alright. I haven't had any issues, and that is because I use ratemyprofessor.com. Use that website to search up your professors before you pick classes. That way you know what you're getting into before you actually sign up for it. Another thing is the class size depends on the course you're taking. There's some classes that everyone has to do at some point, where there's going to be bigger classes, more lecture halls, and there's some classes where it's smaller groups of people, where it's 15 to 25 people, and those bigger classes could be 35 to 50 people or even more than that. There's some classes like that. So it really just depends on the class you're taking. Before you pick your classes, or before the day of your time slot to pick your classes, make sure you have no hold over your account, whether it's financial, immunization, health, emergency contact. Always make sure you have no holds over your account, or so you'll not be able to select or register or pick a new schedule. The way the grade system works here at GSU from an international student is very, very different from what I was used to. Like everything is like really broken down and every point carries weight, like every point matters. So that's why I do extra credits. Like literally every class I've ever had, there was some form of extra credit and I always did it. Even though my grades were already good, all those extra points, I want my GPA to be boosted. So whenever I have extra credits, do it. Just do extra credits whenever you get the chance. Okay, so next thing I'm going to be talking about is diversity. GSU is a very diverse school. I would even go as far as to say that GSU is a PBI, which is a predominantly black institution. Some people even think that GSU is a HBCU. It really isn't, but people tend to say that a lot. And compared to UGA, the University of Georgia, which is a predominantly white institution, GSU is heavily diverse. And I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about like Asians, other colored people, Latinos, and people from different races as well. So you never have to feel like you're the only black person in a room. I never felt uncomfortable with being the only black person in a room. I was never the only black person in a room, that's the thing though. So I never had to feel like uncomfortable that no one like me or like no one that looks like me. You never have to worry about that. GSU is a very, very, very large school. So there's going to be someone in there that looks like you and is for you basically. Okay, now we talk about housing. At GSU, you are not required as a freshman to live on campus. I say this because there are lots of universities in America that require freshmen to live on campus at least for their first year or even for their first and second year, and then you cannot live off campus. GSU doesn't require that. If you want to live off campus as early as your freshman year, you can. I don't recommend it because like as a freshman, you're new, everybody's new. I feel like living on campus is like the easiest, fastest and best way to be involved in school life and be able to make friends easier. But I haven't lived on campus to know how that feels like. GSU has multiple housing options. There's Piedmont Central, which is really a freshman-only dorm. Then there's Piedmont North, Patton Hall, which also houses mostly freshmen and sophomores and a mix of other years as well. And there's University Commons, University Lofts, which is open to everybody, and they reserve a few rooms for freshmen as well. University Commons and University Lofts are apartment-style housing, so they have kitchens. Piedmont North, Piedmont Central, and Patton Hall do not have kitchens. I feel like some people don't realize that when they pick their room or like they pick a meal plan. At Piedmont Central, where I lived, each room came with a fridge and a microwave, where I shared my fridge and microwave with one other roommate, and my two other suite mates shared a fridge and microwave. So basically there are 4 people in a room, 2 people share a fridge and a microwave, a mini fridge and a microwave. There are also off-campus options that are like right beside the on-campus housing option. So Reflection, The Mix, Legacy, those are some off-campus options that are literally right beside on-campus housing options. So if you don't want to live on campus, there's always those options that you can do research and find out how much it costs and all of that. Something to know about GSU. GSU is located in the middle of Atlanta, which is like the downtown area. So like there are a lot of homeless people, especially if you have classes by Adderhold. That is really where the homeless people gather. I never felt unsafe when I was walking around on campus or in my dorm or something. I did always have my guard up and I was always aware of my surroundings because that's just how I was raised. You can't be on your phone and walking on the streets of Atlanta or basically not paying attention to where you are, just walking. Like homeless people are around campus a lot, and if there's something you're not interested in, like GSU is not the school for you. Like the amount of homeless people, even I was shocked. Like coming from Nigeria and coming to Atlanta, I was shocked at the amount of homeless people that were close to campus. I'm sure there are homeless people everywhere, but most of there are a lot of them that are close to campus, close to where we have classes and things like that. So you just really need to be aware of your surroundings and things like that. GSU has its own police system, so if you ever feel like you feel unsafe, you can call GSU police and they can escort you back to your dorm. You can even carry like pepper spray and tasers. A lot of girls especially have like mini tasers and like mini pepper sprays that they keep on their keychain. So that's something you can always have if you just want that extra level of protection, you know? Though I don't have one and nothing bad has ever happened to me, thank God. But if you feel like just to be a little bit extra safe, you can always have that. Try as much as possible never to walk alone. At least always walk with a friend or two, whether it's at night or the sun is shining and it's like super bright in the morning. Like try to always like walk with people, or even if you're walking alone and there's like people walking in front of you, try to be as if you're like walking with them, you know? It's just like safety tips. Always want to keep yourself safe. Always be vigilant of the people around you. Like always be vigilant. I've never had any reason to fear for my life, but is it the safest? I don't know. There was this one time I was walking back from Piedmont North. I went to check out what they had in dining hall and they didn't really have anything at night. I was walking back from Piedmont North and I was crossing the road to go to Piedmont Central, and this random dude came up to me and started asking me if I wanted to buy weed. Huh? Do I look like somebody that would like to buy weed? I did not. And then when I didn't respond, I didn't even respond, I didn't even look in his direction, he started asking for my number. That's when I knew that things were not okay. Things were not right. That whole scenario was just weird in my experience. Like, it's broad daylight and you're trying to sell me weed? I was just so confused. I got back to my dorm and I just sat and I thought about it and I was like, what just happened? What actually just happened? I didn't fear for my life in that moment because it was broad daylight and there were lots of people walking around. So like, if anything would happen, I could literally just scream and like 10 people will run to my help. Is GSU the safest? I'm not too sure, but there are things that you can do to keep yourself safe, to protect yourself, and just to make sure that you never run into any issue or any problem in terms of safety around campus. At GSU, there are numerous cases of funding and homeless people being indecent in public. Like, GSU has like a campus police system, so like anytime there's any like emergency or issue like that, they just send out an email, even though half of the time it's like 2 hours after their so-called crime was committed. But GSU has had like many instances of like funding and homeless people being indecent. So those are just like weird stuff that happens in GSU that you probably will not know unless you were there. So that's just something to set your mind up for. Not to scare you, but just to prepare you. I mentioned meal plans. So GSU has 3 dining halls. One in Piedmont Central, North, and Patton Hall. These 3 dining halls all like have the same meal plan requirements. So like there are 4 meal plan options for like people that live on campus. You have the 7-day meal plan option, which is every day of the week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with Panther points. Panther points are basically points that can turn into like money that you can use at like eateries on campus. Like there's a Panda Express, Chick-fil-A, and there are some other options on campus. That is what you can use the Panther points for. And then you have the 7-day meal plan, which is without the Panther points, and then the same thing, 5-day meal plan with Panther points and 5-day meal plan without Panther points. If you live off campus or you're a commuter or you're a staff, the meal plan for that. Piedmont Central, Piedmont North, and Patton Hall. If you live at those 3 dorms, you are required to have a meal plan. Why? Like I said before, there is no kitchen, so you can't cook for yourself. So if you don't have a meal plan, how do you intend to eat? If you live in Piedmont Central, it doesn't mean that you can only eat food at Piedmont Central. You go to North, you go to Patton, your meal plan applies to any of those 3 dining halls. And GSU's dining page has the menus for every dining hall for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every week. Every day they change it, they update it. So one might have better food than the others. Always need to check the menu online before you go to the dining hall to see which dining hall has better food options. One thing I want to say about that food, for the price that they charge for their meal plan, I'm sorry, but to me, the food is not worth it. When I came my 4th semester, I was like, oh my god, this food is so good. Like, I was like, okay, the food is good, the food is good. Boy, was I proved wrong. Like, the more into the semester we got, the quality of the food started to reduce. Like, I don't know, I just didn't like it as much as I did when I first came. As an international student, and as a school that claims to be so diverse, they could really do better with their food options. I'm not just talking about bringing out sushi and once in a while jollof rice on special occasions. Like, make that a constant thing. Like, if you can do it on special occasions, you can do it like every single time. They really need to have better options in a diverse school, so they can have diverse food options. It's as simple as that, but they don't. It was good quality food at the start of the year, but terrible at the end of the year. It's like how school is. Like, at the start of the year, you're energetic, you're feeling school. Like, the more you get into the term, the more the term starts to come to an end, like, you're just tired. That's how the food was. You start good, and then you start just going down bit by bit by bit. That's just my opinion. I don't really like GSU food as much. Piedmont Central has more options than Patton Hall and Piedmont North. Doesn't mean that food is good, they just have like more options, which sometimes is good, but like, I always find something to eat across the 3 dining halls. If they don't have good food in Piedmont Central, I can go to North, I can go to Patton, and hopefully one of them should have something edible that I can eat. And at GSU, they have this blue container program where like you can get a blue box at the beginning of the year, which is what I did. And if you don't feel like eating in the dining hall, you can take food in that blue container, take it and eat it anywhere. You're not like required to stay in the dining hall and eat all the time. You can use that blue container and that blue container only to take food out of the dining hall. But let me not discourage you. I'm not even a picky eater for real, but GSU really turned me into one. Like, always try new stuff, but like, it doesn't taste good. If it tasted good, I would be eating it, but it didn't. So, that's just my opinion about GSU food. It's not the best. It could be better. They could have more options. Now, I'm going to talk about the social life at GSU. How to make friends. You can't make friends by sitting in your dorm room alone doing nothing. If you want to meet new people, make new friends, you need to get involved, you need to go to events, you need to join organizations. They're like cultural organizations like African Student Association, Ghanaian Student Association, Indian Student Association, like there are cultural organizations like that, and then there are career organizations where it's like National Association of Black Journalists, Black Student Alliance, American Marketing Association, something like that. They're just cultural and their career associations. And at GSU, we have something called PIN, which stands for Panther Involvement Network. It's a website that's available to everybody. You can see which events there are at GSU. You get to know about events, their dates, their time, their location. You can even see like if the events are going to give like free food or like free metro, things like that. Everything is on Panther Involvement Network. And GSU also has a cinema. They have like rotating movies. They change the movies that they play like every month, and there's always a movie on play. If you're bored, if you're looking for something to do, you can always go to the cinema and watch a free movie, by the way. Like GSU, the events, most of them, if not all of them, are free. They are free to attend, and at the same time, they're giving you free stuff, free food. Why would you go? And also, don't be afraid to go to events alone. There might be somebody else that's also alone, or even if there's nothing wrong with going to an event alone. I've gone to events alone a few times. It wasn't as fun as going alone as it is going with some people, but like, how are you going to make those friends? How are you going to meet those people if you don't go to the events at all? And I've only been at GSU for a year, but like people always stop to ask me, how do I know about this event? How do I remember all the details? Where do I get the merch from or this item? Or I post the event on my story and people will send me DMs asking me where the event is happening right now. How I know about this event? Pin and all the million and one flyers that they post everywhere around the school. That's how I get to know about events. And GSU also had this thing called Pounds Rewards, where you can earn free stuff, cool free merch at the end of the term, at the end of the semester, just by going to events. You have to sign up for it or like let them know that you want to like participate in it. But I did a fall semester, I did a spring semester, and in the fall I got a water bottle, a GC branded water bottle, a tote bag, and a bunch of other like merch. And this spring semester I got a keyboard, a mouse, and a mouse pad, and I got that for free just by attending GSU events. They rank up, and like at the end of the term, depending on how many events that you go for, you can get free GSU merch. So GSU has lots of on-campus events, and there's also the off-campus events where it's like parties, going to clubs and things like that. I haven't really gone for most events like that. I don't really go to parties like that. But those parties exist, and they're always handing out flyers. There are always like Instagram pages with all this info, and the info to all these events are super easy to find. Lots of people go for events like this. But if you're not that type of person, but you're still looking for a way to like be involved or like make yourself known or like meet new people, there's always on campus events on GSU. And GSU also has Greek life. So if you're into like sororities and fraternities, GSU also has that. I don't know too much about that, but all that info you can find it on GSU's website really. That info is out there. Now we're just going to talk about all the random stuff I think you should know before coming to GSU. GSU has shopping shuttles, which are supposed to run like every 2 Sundays. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's really an inconsistent service. They really could do better to making that service like a consistent thing. But when they do, it runs on Sundays from like 11 to 3 p.m. They take you to a shopping district that has like clothing stores, grocery stores, and other type of stores where you can like shop and then they bring you back. It's like a concurrent thing. They drop you, they pick you, they drop, they pick, that type of thing. And there's also grocery stores close to GSU. So if you don't want to wait for the next shopping shuttle, there's like a Publix that you can take the green route to the student center and the blue route to the Center Park Stadium parking lot, where you can just walk like a 5 minutes walk to Publix, and then there's a Publix down the road from People North. There's a CVS close to campus somewhere that people go to a lot. That's a beauty supply store. There's a lot of supermarkets and stores and things like that around GSU campus, so you don't have to spend money using an Uber unless you want to go to like a Walmart or a Target. Then those things are not like getting walkable distance. You may probably have to use an Uber. But like there's a Publix, there's a Kroger. There are also really good supermarkets that you can also go to get your groceries. And GSU has parking passes. You have to bring your car on campus. Don't know too much about that, but as far as I've heard, parking passes are expensive. So if you really want to pay that fee of bringing your car on campus and just park it, that's up to you. And GSU has a shuttle service, which I am so grateful for. because I don't know what is up with the roads in Atlanta. They're always inclining or declining. Like it's never just a straight road. It's just why is a road? Why am I climbing a road that's going up? Like it's not the stairmaster. Like I don't know, but they have an app called Passion Go. You can download it and you can use it to see when bus routes are going. It just takes you everywhere around campus, from the domes to class buildings, back and forth. It runs as late as like 12 p.m. in the night, so buses are always there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any further questions or you want to clarify something, don't forget to leave your question in the comment section or DM me on Instagram or TikTok, and I will be happy to respond. But I think I'll end this video here. So see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.